Hi everybody, it's me Stephanie. Thank you so much for tuning in to Talking Transitions, the All About Hair channel. It's information for the educated consumer, brought to you by me, the educated professional. I'm coming to you today from Transition Salon at 8124 Kennedy Avenue in Highland, Indiana. You can always contact me at the salon at area code 219-838-8910. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about the essential oils. Are they really essential? Meaning, are they needed for our day-to-day lives? To be honest with you everybody, I really didn't have a whole lot of ready-made information for you as I have in other videos. So I had to do a little research. So I have my notes here with me just in case you see me looking down. So one thing I did find out, that even though it's called essential oils, it's not to mean that it's essential to the nourishment or to the sustainability of our bodies. It's actually considered the essence of its origin, which makes it an essential oil. Okay? And so I chose a few oils today that I wanted to talk about, and then I'm actually going to do this as a part 2 next week to talk about some more oils. Today we're going to talk about tea tree oil. Now, one thing we know about tea tree oil, it is an antiseptic, and it's also good for our hair roots, and it provides nourishment. Okay. Then we know about the coconut oil, which is also an antiseptic and an antioxidant. But one thing I did learn about the coconut oil, that it does contain lauric acid. And lauric acid has the carbon, the hydrogen, as well as the oxygen. And I hadn't mentioned this in videos in the past, but our hair is made up of what we call at hair school cones: carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, and sulfur. So those are the 5 main elements that make up our hair. And because the lauric acid contains the carbon, the oxygen, and the hydrogen, and the lauric acid is in the coconut oil, this is why the coconut oil is so good for our hair as well as our scalp, because it actually can really go in under the hair shaft, and which is considered also the hair cuticle, and into the cortex, and really help build that hair up. Okay, but it's like more so of an enhancement. Then I looked up the jojoba oil and the peppermint oil, the lavender oil, the rose oil, and the eucalyptus oil. Now, there was a commonality in all of these oils: the fact that they're an antiseptic as well as an antioxidant. They're also anti-inflammatory. And so what that means with all of these oils that I just mentioned is that they're pretty much all doing the same thing. They're cleansing the scalp. They're removing any debris that's blocking hair growth. They're also encouraging a nice, healthy scalp to promote the hair growth. So with that being said, you don't necessarily have to combine all of these oils together, because one thing I also discovered in my research, you have to be mindful of cocktailing these oils, because they can actually produce a toxic level. And so you don't want that. And when I say toxic level, that means that it can do something harmful to you if you're mixing these oils without understanding what their combinations can create. So we definitely want to be mindful about mixing up the different combinations. And I just want to really bring to light that if you're using the jojoba oil, you don't really need the peppermint oil, because they're cleaning the scalp. Again, they're reducing itching. They're reducing any inflamed areas of the scalp. So they're promoting the hair growth. They're not really providing essential nutrients to the scalp, because like I mentioned before, the scalp is a part of our bodies. So what we're putting into our bodies, our eating, our vitamins, different things like that, aid in the health of the scalp. Okay, these oils only provide an enhancement, meaning it's just helping out what the body should already be doing. Now, I'm going to tell you that I actually have a newfound love for olive oil. It actually does moisturize the hair and the scalp, which is something unique as opposed to the other oils, which really don't provide much moisturizing. It's also same thing in the antiseptic. It's antibacterial, so it's going to clean the scalp as well as just like the other oils. The one thing I did discover about the tea tree oil, I'm sorry, the olive oil, is that the olive oil, it aids in decreasing a production of DHT, which is, okay, stay with me y'all, dihydrotestosterone, okay? And that's a hormone that actually shrinks the hair follicle shaft, which prevents hair growth. So what the olive oil does is it decreases the production of the DHT so that it doesn't shrink the hair follicle so much that it doesn't allow hair growth. Now let me say this is not a cure-all for hair loss, and it's not a cure-all for thinning hair, because if your body is producing a lot of this DHT, the olive oil can only decrease it. It cannot eliminate it. So if you have a small amount of hair loss, or you have a small amount of thinning and you feel like it's not really a major problem, the olive oil can definitely aid in helping that hair to continue to grow. But I do not want to mislead you into thinking that the olive oil is going to be a cure-all. It's only an enhancement or an assistant, okay? But the reason why I really enjoy reading about the olive oil is because I did not know that it decreases the production of the DHT, which is definitely a piece of information that can help me out as a hairstylist, so that I can definitely incorporate olive oil treatments in my hair services. So I thought that was pretty awesome. Another oil that we all know about is just like a huge thing in all the product lines, and that's the argan oil. Now the argan oil actually does contain vitamin A, vitamin C, and vitamin E. And it is also an antioxidant as well. So with all of these different oils, we see a commonality. We know that the oils are cleaning our scalp, cleaning the hair somewhat. Remember, I'm an advocate for shampooing that hair and that scalp, getting that dirt off and giving you a clean slate to work with. But these oils definitely aid in creating a healthy working environment. Think of it like a garden. Anytime you want to plant something, whether it's food or whether it's just a flower bed, you want to make sure that soil is healthy. You want to make sure that soil is clean. You're making sure no weeds are growing in that soil, and you're making sure that you're feeding it with the proper nutrients to give it the optimal growing environment. That's why the grass grows so beautifully. That's why that food is popping up looking great and healthy. That's why those flowers are blooming so beautifully. It's because the care that's being taken in the land that it's growing from. It's the same thing with our hair and our scalp. If we don't provide a healthy environment for the growth of the hair, we're going to have problems with our hair growth. And these oils definitely help to create a healthy environment for hair growth. But again, it's not a substitution for you taking your vitamins. It's not a substitution for your eating habits. Remember, what we put in our bodies does have an effect on our skin. It has an effect on our hair as well. Another thing that I wanted to mention about the essential oils, and something else that I learned, is that you can use what they call a carrier oil. And what the carrier oil does is you add the essential oil to the carrier oil to help it absorb into the skin. Now, the time that you would use the carrier oil is when the essential oil that you want is actually volatile. And what that means is it's easily evaporated. So if you don't want it, if you want it to really go over the skin or really saturate into the scalp over a wide area, okay, you want to add what they call a carrier oil. Add the essential oil to the carrier oil. And there are two carrier oils that I thought would be interesting for you to know about. The grapeseed oil, which is a much lighter oil, and then the olive oil, which is a heavier oil. But you can add your essential oils like the lavender or the eucalyptus, the rose oil, or the peppermint oil. You can add these to the olive oil or to the grapeseed oil so that you can use it for your skin. You can do hot oil treatments, different things like that. Okay, so I just want you to be aware of some different ways that you can utilize the essential oils, but you have to combine it, like I said, with what they call a carrier oil. I hope this information has really been helpful to you, and I'm going to tell you, I really enjoyed researching these essential oils because I hear so much about it, and I really want to be able to educate my clients and educate you as well, while I'm even educating myself. Thank you so much for tuning in to my channel today, and always remember that your hair is your glory. Let it tell its own story. Your hair is unique. It has something to say, so let it speak. Thanks again. I pray that this information has been a blessing to you, and that you would even have the opportunity to share this information with other people. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to just thank you and thank you and thank you, because I'm going to tell you that everybody does not have to watch, but I appreciate you taking the time out to learn something about your hair. Have a good night, everyone, and I'll see you next week.